Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Fubara here on your Boom Radio NG. It is Friday. Yep. So it is a habitual warm welcome to the bar today. It promises to be a very interesting one. So I'm going to be talking about quite a number of things. Looks like the drama in River State has not ended. The fight between the former governor and the incumbent or the current suspended governor is still brewing, and looks like maybe 6 months might not be enough. It's just me, just my opinion. I did not say anything to that effect. Anyway, there's also going to be a few things from the federal government, a few updates from the federal government that we're going to be talking about. Looks like the US is shutting down embassies around the world. We'll see where that is going to be lead to. Also, there are quite a number of reviews of a lot of football games that happened yesterday. Quite a lot of people don't rate some games or some people anymore. We'll get to that and quite a number of other things. So sit back, relax. And his music, there's a whole album, or a few albums actually out, and a few other songs out today. So sit back, relax, and let us enjoy today's ride. And it is Good Friday, so happy Good Friday. Or how is that even said itself? But it is Good Friday for Christians around the world. If people that understand what Good Friday is, it's supposed to be a very solemn one, remembrance of the day that Christ was crucified. So we're going to be talking about that. And in Nigeria, happy public holiday. At least people that are not essential workers are at home today. So with me in the studio, is Sola Rogers, as we're going to be breaking down quite a number of things in the studio today.
Thank God it's Friday, new music Friday, Good Friday. Let's go.
Okay, so we're getting right into it, like I had said earlier, and I think that we should start from River State. First things first, I think the whole drama or this River State conversation started again when Mr. Wike decided to do his usual press briefings and press that's not even a press briefing, more like a press chat, gisting and asking, and they're asking him questions and he's answering and all that. However, as the minister of the FCT, I honestly would have thought a lot of things of this is press chats will be about the work that he's doing now, which the honest truth is that if you follow him from being governor of River State, that was what he did a lot. It was really about promoting a lot of work that he did. However, on this time, in the past couple of weeks or months that we've seen him a lot talking about River State. Of course, we know that there is major rift between him and the suspended governor. There's a lot of back and forth and all that. And looks like Mr. Wike does not know when to stop, in my own opinion.
Well, you are entitled to your opinion. Doesn't necessarily mean that it is wrong or right. It just means that it's your opinion. And if you've studied Nyesom Wike, you understand one thing. Now, the announcement for this was made a couple of days ago. It's a media parley that he has. He has a sit down with most of the top media brands in Nigeria, because they all have their presence in Abuja also, where he's currently domiciled as the minister of the Federal Republic, capital of the Federal Republic, which is Abuja. Now, the thing about him is that he is a politician through and through. Nyesom Wike is a politician and he understands governance and politics. And this is my own opinion.
Yeah.
And what he has done is that he's making the best of his current situation. And he understands that the people who do not like him have 29 days in a month to come for him. And he picks one day, and that's what he has done. So this media parley thing is going to be mostly monthly, because it doesn't look like it's quarterly. And he's going to sit down like this and talk. And trust me, if he's going to have a 1 hour sit down with the media, whatever he's doing in Abuja cannot take 1 hour. In fact, the media people even know that they would get more eyeballs from talking controversies, which is the political side of Wike, as against the governance side of Nyesom Wike. So what Nyesom Wike is doing now is staying relevant in the political arena, and again, constantly gauging his opposition and goading them in some instances, you know. Yeah, so, and again, you know, you don't need to like him, but it's that guy that does not shy away from speaking his mind, regardless of how it sounds.
We have a comment and says that this is Mr. Brain says, Nigeria has stupid journalists. I think we should refrain from a bit.
No, it's his opinion. Let's hear. Is that
they
all?
will always allow Wike run the interview and no strong will, always kicking with him. Oh, okay, always kicking with him. Afolari Adekule says the world should know that Democratic Republic of Yoruba is not part of Nigeria.
Wow.
Special announcement to all African leaders: Democratic Republic of Yoruba is not part of Nigeria. Everybody's opinion, actually.
We have interesting comments coming through. The first person, Mr. Brain, you have a point there, but it's not exactly as you have said it, because I watched that interview too, and you see that no matter how Wike tries to strong harm the media guys who are there, they still get their word in. They still get to speak and, you know, there was a time when
maybe he's saying that they should shun him.
No, he's saying maybe like he has his way, like he gets to say his piece. And that's the essence of the old Pale, actually. What he has done is to invite them into his own abode to say, let's have a sit down. Of course, he pays for the airtime and everything that they would use, which is why the media is set up in the first place. It's a business beyond carrying information for you, authentic information, rather. But what it is that the media, as a professional, you cannot also force it. It's wrong. And maybe you're looking at one or two media people who badger their guests and, you know, talk down. That's not how it's done. It's unprofessional. So these guys that you looked at, every single one of them that was at that media party today, they're thoroughbred professionals. That's my opinion too.
So basically, why I had even said that Mr. Nyesom Wike, because at this point, the truth of the matter is, he made a statement saying that the president saved Governor Fubara, and that why was because he wanted him to be removed completely. It's obvious that you don't like him. It's okay. It's okay not to like somebody. However, and it's okay that you people have issues that you're dealing with. It's okay. But he's already suspended. I don't think that or let me rephrase that. I feel that Mr. Nyesom Wike makes a few unguarded statements. I think that it's unnecessary. You're not the House of Assembly. You can't say, oh, you wanted him removed. Nah. As what? In what capacity would you say you wanted to remove him? I think they're very unnecessary statements to make. They're unnecessary assertions to make. And especially with the way River State is now, whether you like it or not, there are quite a number of people that are, would I say, it's on thin ice, yeah? Security is on thin ice in that place. So I don't think this kind of statements are needed.
Okay, your opinion is that he shouldn't have said the things he said, but this is Nyesom Wike. One, you remember that he's a lawyer and he's a politician, and of course, I'm not saying he's infallible. He has spoken his mind. It's now for people to respond. The people he has called out, the people he has spoken about, and if he has broken any law, that he should be brought to book. You understand? But again, it's almost as if we don't like the truth. The man is telling you how involved he is and how some people could have been removed or not removed. And that's the reality. And that's politics. Are we going to put our heads in the clouds and pretend that they don't have all these nocturnal meetings or even daytime meetings where they make all these plans and then they actually carry them out? And it's the same way with Fubara on his own side. It's the same way with virtually every politician out there.
No, I'm not saying that it's not the same way. I'm just saying that maybe it's unnecessary to make those statements in public.
But he has passed this message. He has passed this message. I remember when they were asking him today about what will it take for him and Fubara to reconcile.
Yeah.
And I think it was Maokpe Ogunda asked that question. And he was very emphatic about if he was sincere with his apologies. You understand? Because some people were making reference to the Bible. They're talking about the prodigal son. And he was telling that the prodigal son actually went back to the father indeed, but he said this to his father. He was sorry. You know? So I get that part of the whole thing and how you think some of the things he said are off. Yeah, but it's his opinion. And again, if he has broken any law, let us call him out on it. If anybody can point it out, I'm willing. I know there are a lot of people. He also knows. He was talking about how they talked about how he had died and a whole lot of things that happened to him and they are not true. And how much have the people peddling those stories benefited from peddling them? And that's the funny thing about it. People go about saying this. If you really don't like this Wike guy, there are a lot of things you can do. One of the first things is to completely ignore him, or work hard to ensure that he loses relevance. And now does he lose relevance? He works for Tinubu's government in Abuja. He says he's still in the PDP. And so if you do whatever it is to make sure that he doesn't deliver whatever he has promised Tinubu to deliver, you work against that. Then that way, he won't get any other appointments and he loses relevance completely. So we should be more practical with our hatred. If your hatred is because of his persona, then please don't hold back. But again, be guided by the law, because just like there's a guy who made the video that Wike had died, and he went on and on. The same guy is making a video. He's made about 2 videos now saying some terrible things about Regina Daniel. That's the lady that got married to Senator Ned Nwoko. He said some really stupid things, and the funny thing is, he's standing his ground and he's saying that he has evidence, he has proof. He's the same guy that says he has proof that Wike is dead and they are flying his body back, and he's still there making all those stupid videos. So again, beyond maybe the eyeballs that you get and the views and popularity you think you will gain, anything you say and do, please be guided by the law. You don't like Wike, do whatever, but please be guided by the law.
Okay, I'm still talking about River State here. One of another interesting things. A very popular lawyer has said that the president should remove the sole administrator. Basically, that he's going against a presidential order. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana has asked the president to remove Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Abbas for breach of presidential order.
Okay. How did he breach it? I would like to learn.
So basically, I think it was talking about the appointments that the sole administrator made. Basically, kind of implying that he probably does not have those powers.
Okay. And did he quote the law to back it up?
Basically, that the sole administrator should operate based on the basis of regulations that may from time be issued by President Tinubu. But
so now this is different from them saying that it shouldn't even happen in the first place.
No,
now this is him accepting that the man is right to be there, but he doesn't like the actions he has taken. No.
I think that he still doesn't say. He's saying that the president has compounded the issues because the sole administrator, there's already an illegality of his appointment, and now he's removed officials that were appointed by Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Now, whether right or not, I feel that a lot of things have different undertones. And why I said so is, keep in mind, this is the same lawyer that was Governor Fubara's advocate in court.
So this is.
So are you saying this because it's the right thing, or because Governor Fubara is your client?
Very good question.
Because that's kind of the way it looks like. I don't think that a lot of Nigerians realize the veracity or the way some things actually sound when they do some things. Looks like someone that is.
Why does he have to sound anyway? The bottom line is that someone is pushing his agenda.
He must.
Must it sit well with you?
He must earn that salary. He must earn the money he's collecting. Anyway, a former chief magistrate of Rivers State, HK George, who had resigned from the Rivers State Judiciary, said that the reason why he resigned was because he was not trained to take directives from a military administrator.
Fantastic. And that's the way things should be. And this is a man of conviction. I totally love what that person has done there. Rather than kick back there and be walking under a scenario that you know you can't live with. But because man must work, you know. So yeah, fantastic there.
Okay, anyway, since we're talking politics, and there are quite a number of issues, there are a lot of movement here and there. You know, there's been conversations, if we go all the way to Kano, about...
I think you have some comments that you've not...
There are quite a number of... Okay, so Mr. Brent says, the president doesn't care how the military administrator runs rivers. Fubara money is fast drying up. He's the one pushing all these buttons. Question, does he know Tinubu is watching him? Fubara is slow.
I don't get... Can you explain that?
I'm not sure that... Okay, he said it doesn't care how the president does not care how the military admin runs rivers. Fubara money is fast drying up. He's the one pushing all these buttons. Oh, like all these buttons of people saying that is not basically to get him back into administration. Does he not know Tinubu is watching him? Fubara is slow.
Interesting submission by Mr. Brain.
Fubara being slow, with the things that we have seen in almost 2 years, I think I would kind of agree with you, allegedly.
How do you agree allegedly? Because you either agree or you don't.
You know why I said I would agree is if you've been on the bar, been at the bar for a while, always, from the minute this matter started, it was obvious that Mr. Fubara was fighting a lost battle.
I just think that similarly, Fubara has terrible advisors. That's
yes.
all.
I think that he was fighting a lost battle.
I think
was not.
It was too
wise.
early for him to try to shake off whatever influence that Wike had on him.
Yeah.
I think he did not gauge the matter well. You worked with this man for many years. You were the accountant general, and you know that those House of Assembly members also worked with him. Some of the commissioners that were in your own new government were with Wike and all of that. You think it was too early?
Maybe try and
even if you
win
want to
them
break
over
away,
first.
you know,
at least the assembly, try and win them over first before you fight him. So yes, I agree that there were a lot of things, and there's something we had said over and over, and it was almost like as if we could see the future, but it was very glaring that there was no way he was going to come out tops from this fight. Anyway, nobody saw that emergency rule coming, did not say, because I thought that after the Supreme Court had pronounced it, he would suck it up and just, do what is right. However, he didn't, and then there was a lot of
there are a couple of comments there from...
No, it's just back and forth of...
what's the name again?
Adekule. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but I want to talk about it. It's a comment that was left at the bar.
Okay, so hold on. Let's finish this one.
Yeah.
So he says that money is drying up fast. He's the one pushing all these buttons. I don't know about that. The thing is, I think that instead of him pushing these buttons, what he really should be doing, even if he's not finding a way to reconcile with Nyesom Wike, the assembly members, he needs to find a way to reconcile with them.
You really think that he can reconcile with assembly members without Wike?
No.
With your understanding of River State politics?
True.
You think that's possible?
Maybe not. But whatever it takes at this point is what he does, because
I've said it over and over
if we're
again.
not careful, this thing might... You think 6 months is a long time? It's not. I think it's about a month already.
For the sake of governance in River State, for the sake of democracy in River State, you need to be political. Governor Fubara be honest with yourselves. Yourself and Wike need to have a sit down, regardless. It might be tough, but I think you should concede to him. And the reason why is that
you don't have.
You really
obvious
don't.
You don't.
He seems to hold all the aces.
Yeah, at this point,
you went to court and it didn't go your way. Virtually every case that was taken to court did not work. How do you function without the assembly? So let's us put our pride aside and go. I saw a video. One of the people who have been supporting Governor Fubara is a local government guy who's
very
dancing vocal and saying we never go to Wike and all of that. Yeah, you don't have to. In fact, they really don't even need you. But Fubara himself knows that he needs to settle with the assembly people so that Rivers State can move forward. Mm-hmm. Rivers State needs to move forward. There's too many things that's wrong. And if you don't do things by the book, it will come back to bite you strongly. Monies that are spent, if they are not properly captured and documented, and it's not about accountant writing it down, it's about the law backing the budget. Without a law, you don't have a budget. Mm-hmm. So for the sake of governance, for the sake of Rivers State people, Governor Fubara, you get why you and Wike putting ourselves or we're not putting ourselves. It's time for you guys to reconcile so that we can move on.
Okay, so the comment looks like Mr. Folari Adekule is basically saying that Democratic Republic of Yoruba is not part of Nigeria.
Well, there's still no Democratic Republic of Nigeria. Maybe your wish is to have one. And can I be very honest with you? I don't see a problem with that, as long as it's done within the confines of the law. If Nigeria can sit down and Nigerians really sit down and look at all the things that's happening and say, you know what, people want Biafra, some people want Oduduwa. Is Oduduwa Republic I used to hear, or Yoruba Nation, and now it's Yoruba Democratic. What's written
Democratic Republic of Yoruba.
Like Democratic Republic of Congo. That's too long now. It's too long. You should look for a shorter, more nicer name. But we must be guided by the laws of Nigeria at the moment. So I get your agitation and they are valid, but you have to be careful also that you don't get into trouble while you are pushing for this, your Democratic Republic of Yoruba. Is that what it is? Democratic Republic of Yoruba.
Yeah.
So please be careful, sir. It's not, there's nothing wrong with your agitation, but how do you get it legally and without bloodshed?
Okay, so moving on from that, and we're talking. This is still talking a bit of politics, and what I wanted to talk about was Kano State. So there's been a bit of speculation, and this is just speculations, really, that the Kwankwaso movement of the NNPP is moving back to the APC. However, the Kano APC has had something to say about it, and now they're saying that they're welcome, that they basically saying that they could be prodigal children, but they would welcome them back. However, they need to apologize to the president and the vice president for damning statements they had made in the past.
Kano politics is a different kettle of fish entirely. If there's any place that you get serious action when it comes to politics, it's Kano. Kano reminds me of Rivers State.
Yeah, it's very, because the population too is a lot,
and they have the numbers.
And maybe not just population. I would say the population of voters.
Beyond that,
they why I said
they are very politically aware.
That's what I'm saying. Like what that's what I mean, that you can have a lot of your population can be much. It is the number of people that vote, and I think other than Kano, give it to the Northerners. I think it's a thing. They actually do vote a lot.
Kano got over 2 million votes during the gubernatorial elections, if I'm not mistaken. Do you understand?
Okay.
Kwankwaso.
All right. So a number just called now. Could you please call back?
Okay.
Yes. Could you please call back if you're watching this? Please, if you wanted to make a statement, please call back. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Kwankwaso, going back to the APC, has been mooted for a couple of weeks now into days. And that changes a lot of things, a lot of dynamics in the entire northern part of Nigeria, but especially in Kano, because we know that Ganduje and Kwankwaso had some kind of falling out, similar to the Siminalai and the Wike falling out, you get, because they were political associates before. And seeing them in the same party might really be strange, you know?
Okay, so we have a call coming in.
Okay.
Sorry. Hello? Hello? Hello, can you hear us? Hello? We can't hear you. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Good afternoon here.
Yeah. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Sola from Boston.
Okay. Oh, my namesake. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
I saw the number. I decided to call in. There's for the guy talking about Yoruba Nation or
Yoruba Democratic Republic.
that's illegal. You can't even talk about it under the current arrangement unless there's a separate national conference
Yes.
that will allow you to even have that conversation.
Yeah.
So or you have a war that breaks out and the UN comes in and then like your own South Sudan or whatever. That is the only way out. So I don't know if he's ready to go through that. The problem is all these guys online on Facebook yelling, just yell. If you want a country, there are things you need to do. The hard work you need to put in. It takes years to mobilize support. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to go online, yell and scream and do nothing. They don't vote. They don't support any campaign, any movement. But they're on YouTube, Facebook, just yelling Yoruba Nation up and down. So that's why I believe in Yoruba Nation, but I understand that it's very hard to get. But I'm not going to go out there and start yelling online. It doesn't make any sense. So that aside, the reason I called him was because of the Fubara situation. I think it's quite unfortunate that Fubara it's become a joke. It's not coming back.
Oh, really?
They're either going to extend that 6 months military rule, or when he comes back, they will get rid of him. I think they want soft landing for Wike and the guys in the House of Rep, so that when they finally nail his coffin, nobody will complain. That's the move.
But
it is too dumb not to see what's coming.
Yeah.
It's obvious if you watch it. They are going to first drain your pockets. So this 6 months is to drain him completely dry, so that when they move in, he has no leverage. That's it. And he's just falling for the trap.
You know, I agree with you. I
can't hear you guys back, but I don't know what's going on.
Hey, the audio.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was saying that I actually agree with you, because we've been saying it here for months at the bar here that he has terrible advisors, and this is not how to go about it. The fact that you were made a governor or you became a governor under some funny arrangement does not mean you can wake up one night and just take over. It takes time. It takes a lot of structure building and everything. And the sad part now is that if he does not go back to what the president had told him at the get, these things that you said will play out.
But I have a question though. If we juxtapose what is happening with him now, and go to Kaduna State, the governor was literally started fighting with his predecessor virtually immediately he got into power.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same, and the reason why it's not the same is this: the House of Assembly is not
on the side of the governor.
Is not loyal to the former governor of Kaduna. How many people in the House of Assembly were his people? As against in Wike's case, where he has 27 out of 31 or 32. There's no way 4 or 5 people can form a quorum. So the one in Kaduna is different.
Isn't that the first step? The first thing you do, if you want to, you first win over your
assembly,
your master's supporters. His base must come over to your side first before you make any move. You must first weaken him before you make your move. He made his move too quick, too soon.
Yeah, I agree. And it's not looking good.
An example is if you remember what happened in Ondo. If people remember what happened with Mimiko and if you remember, Mimiko waited. He won over all these guys in the House of Rep, won over the traditional rulers, won over the politicians, won over everybody. So when he made his move, the guy had no choice.
True.
It takes 3-4 years to do that. This moron just went there. The first month, you already show your hands. How dumb can you be?
And another thing is that as much as a lot of people want to say, okay, Wike is this, we saw the campaign. I'm sorry, but it looked like Wike literally forced Fubara on River State people.
But that's a fact.
And he literally gave you governor on a platter.
Look,
if
the bottom line,
come to Abuja every Friday, I come and be frustrated. I think that Fubara
I like the Mimiko reference, because if you look at it, Mimiko was standing alone. He didn't have any solid party structure behind him, and he took his time. He actually did. You know, everybody that has tried it will fail if you don't put the right things in place. Okay. And like Ubasoni in Kaduna has done, he has played politics of togetherness.
So a lot of even APC people that left,
non-APC people are joining him in Kaduna. They're crossing from PDP and all over back into the APC as soon as El Rufai left. You know, but Fubara's case is different.
And that's why, Sola, that's why I said, because he has not built that coalition, the only way he can even talk to those guys is to spend money.
Yeah.
These 6 months is just there for them. So he's buying friends with money. Yeah. But how long can you keep paying within 6 months? They want to bleed him out.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. The money, once the money dries up, they will leave you now. That's what they want to do.
One time.
So that when they remove him, there will be no resistance.
That's true.
It's such a very sad one. It's such a sad one. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling in.
You know, Sola calling from Boston was on the money. It was on the money there.
Yeah, it was.
To be very honest. And I hope that Siminalayi Fubara listens and retrace your steps. Swallow your pride.
Don't you want to be governor?
Swallow your pride. If you are going to be governor, what you do? in the remaining 2 years, you will now walk like a madman, like projects everywhere, settle the people you have to settle. You know, do you understand? That it comes to a point where even neutrals will say, this guy has done well. They should leave him. Yeah. But if you are still fighting, you would not be able to govern.
Yeah,
there's no way you're going to do it.
It's such a sad one. So, like I said, we're talking about Kano State, and the Kano ABC have now said that they're okay with Kwankwaso coming back, but that he needs to apologize to the president and the vice president. And this, I'm still going back to my question that I've been asking for weeks and months. By the time his election in 2027, two things now, because it was only one question I was asking for, but because of new development, with the way people are crossing, take for example, I think in Ondo State, in Sokoto State, PDP Women leaders and other members crossed to the APC today. Yesterday in Edo State, a House of Assembly member moved from the PDP to the APC yesterday. We hear a lot of this.
A few days ago. In Abuja, the House of Rep guy there also crossed
to the APC.
And during Wike's discussion today, it revealed that the AMAC chairman there, who is a PDP person, came to him and said, look, he's going to contest for the local government election under PDP again. And he said he asked him, who's going to sign your form? And and the guy said he's going to APC.
Okay.
So Wike, someone said Wike is the weapon fashioned against PDP.
Oh yes.
But the funny thing
Let's
is,
be honest, he is.
why is he so powerful that
They can't do anything about him?
What did Fayose do that they said they suspended him? They suspended this one and that one.
According to his media pally, he talked about how PDP is not serious and there's nothing that they are going to do in 2027. Now, my question goes back to,
all right,
what do you think will there be any form of strong what's it called?
Opposition
by
or the possibility of opposition winning?
Yeah,
yes,
or
there is
a coalition, or this coalition, will this coalition be strong enough?
Will it work?
If there's so many people, take for example Kano State. If this story of Kano and Kwankwaso and the Kwankwasia movement goes back to the APC, we're looking at 1.7, 1.8 million votes from Kano State alone.
Yeah.
If we do those numbers across board, I think it's the governor of Akwa Ibom that has come out to say boldly that the president is going to work for the president and there's nothing anybody can do about it. In Delta State, all the Senate and all the House of Reps, everybody they're all back in the APC. And we can mention over and over and over different pockets like that. Will this so-called coalition...
How do you keep saying they are back in the APC? They are PDP. Delta has always been PDP.
Oh, sorry. They moved to the APC. Now, will this coalition or will there be an opposition or the PDP that will be strong enough to rival the APC?
It doesn't have to be PDP. Would there be a coalition? Yes. If they are ready... If they are ready to drop their personal interests. For one, a few days ago in Ibadan, 11 PDP governors of 12 came together and said they are not joining any coalition.
Yes,
now,
they did.
That is in contrast to their leader, the presidential flag bearer and candidate of PDP, who is still moving around working towards contesting again in 2027. Now, he wants a coalition. It's obvious because he's hobnobbing with Nasir El-Rufai, who is now in the SDP, according to him. He said he's going to the SDP.
Oh, yeah.
So we're talking coalition now. And if we're talking coalition, what that basically means is that Atiku and El-Rufai are looking at SDP as maybe the main vehicle or a part of it, a part of the contraption that they are going to put together. The PDP has already said, we will not join, but people can join us. So there's a possibility of a coalition. If,
maybe under the PDP.
For instance, Peter Obi, whether he stays in Labour Party or not, Atiku, and any other person there, maybe 2 or 3 other people that have this supportership, decide to put their personal interest aside to say, let us go and form this coalition. We can all come under the umbrella of PDP or whatever, but if you want the PDP governor support, you have to come under the umbrella of PDP.
But remember also that PDP, parts of chieftains in the PDP had said that basically muted the issue that they were not going to give, or it's going to be very difficult, or they don't let me say that they can't give, but it will be, they don't want to give someone like what's his name, Atiku, the ticket.
You're not listening to me. I was about to make my point. If everybody drops their personal interest, if Atiku, Obi, Kwankwaso is no longer there, more or less, I think he's going to APC, but even if he's still there, and they come together and say, you know what, El-Rufai, all of them. Now, to make this thing work, this is what we're going to do. And this is what they do. They come under the umbrella of PDP, for instance, so that they can have the support of the 11 or 12 PDP governors. And they now go, and Atiku now realizes that he's either going to win or not. Not like he's saying he's the one that has the right of first refusal. And that's what I'm saying. I didn't say that they should give Atiku before you said what you said. I'm saying that drop your personal interest, come together. You were able to pull off separately. You got 12 million votes. Almost 13 if you had it together, 13 point something million votes. And whatever candidate they now pick, Atiku will not vex and go and do anti-party. Obi will not do, all of them will now say whatever candidate. And that candidate can even be anybody. Whoever it is. If it's Obi, if it's Atiku, fine. And if it's Sheyi Makinde that says he can be president, whoever it is, if they all get behind the person, then Tinubu will have a ground for his money. They will show him small pepper, if not big. And he might not even win. I'm telling you. I'm not underestimating Bola Tinubu. I know that he's making a lot of moves and we can see it. But I'm saying that your question about the coalition, it can only work if people put the coalition first.
Okay.
And again, remember, it's all about power. They are not, all these people, it's not as if they are fighting for Nigeria. They are only fighting for their own power.
Everybody's fighting for themselves. Everybody's fighting for themselves. Anyway, so basically we'll see a lot of drama going on from now on. Just also want to put it out there, the IG has ordered some tight security, saying that the police should please look out for churches during the Easter celebration.
You know, it's very scary when I hear those kind of things. It takes me back to the days when we were afraid to go to public places because of the fear of Boko Haram. You would go out, even in the southern part of Nigeria, then churches were scanning us before we entered.
Oh, yeah.
You could not enter malls with your bag, a whole lot of things.
Yes.
You know, but I hope we will not go back to those days.
We will not degenerate to those times. Anyway, moving on from that quickly. And also, okay, so first things first, there's something, a news popped up yesterday, and I was wondering, like, there was supposed to be maybe some hue and cry, but apparently it didn't happen. There was talks of the convoy of the president's wife, or the first lady, killing a young girl in, I think, Ondo State. And I was expecting like major, apparently nobody, not a lot of people talked about it, only for the police to now announce today that it was hit and run and it had nothing to do with the convoy of the president. So I'm like, okay, so that explains the fact that...
When has bad news ever stopped opposition from jumping on it?
Maybe I honestly thought that there was going to be like a lot of noise about it. So maybe...
They will still get there, don't worry. Now that the IG has spoken about it, they will tell you that there's a cover up somewhere and some funny coalition issues.
So anyway, another very interesting news that I wanted to talk about was WAEC. So the West African Examination Council had announced that this year that they're going digital, I
swear, it sounded like you said West African. I'm like,
West now.
They're
going digital. They're saying from this year, if you don't know how to use a computer, you probably will not be able to take WAEC right now.
It's 2025, Dolupo. There shouldn't be anybody trying to get into university that cannot use a computer by now.
So every single
you have kids in primary school coding.
Yeah. So
you now want to enter university, you cannot use computer to write exam. Beleo.
It's such a very very interesting one. However, they had said that they have barred 574 schools from the 2025 exams.
Is it schools or miracle centers? There should be more.
No, for WAEC actually, I think it's proper school. You have to use school.
I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Even if it's a proper school or not, we have seen proper schools now
that are being used. I get your point. I think I get what you're saying.
Why are you like this?
Anyway, Sha, kudos to WAEC, and I'm loving it. They're saying that results will be out exactly 45 days after the last paper.
That's fine.
And
should you not be drop it like it's hot? Drop it like it's hot.
And they said that your certificate will be ready 90 days.
That's fine.
Certificate.
Can it not be automated? You know, as soon as you finish English, English certificate. You finish maths,
do you have maths certificates for WAEC? Or English certificate.
Did we use computer for exam?
That's the one thing. WAEC is only one certificate.
We were shading with HB pencil.
Anyway, I just wanted to actually put that out there. I think that was actually a very nice thing to say. But moving on from that, Donald Trump has said that they're considering shutting down about 30 overseas embassies and consulates. And guess what? Most of them are in Africa.
DJT, my man, Donald Trump on the beat. Look, I'm going to give him his flowers. I personally like what he did with curtailing all the letters and the alphabets. But come on, Mr. Trump, Your Excellency. What's really going on?
Excellency, sir. So,
you are losing that tariff war. Yes, you are. Yes, sir, you are. Oh, they ain't told you yet? China don't go crazy, oh. China is revealing everybody's secrets. Even though the Victoria secrets have been revealed.
So the embassies that they're planning to shut down. Malta, Luxembourg, Lesotho, Republic of Congo, Central African Republic, South Sudan, 5 consulates in France, 2 in Germany, 2 in Bosnia and Herzegovina, 1 in the United Kingdom, 1 in South Africa, and 1 in South Korea.
Interesting. Meanwhile, the biggest U.S. embassy or consulate in the history of U.S. is being built in Nigeria.
They
at the
just
moment.
want to build that one, so they cannot.
It's under construction.
That's what I'm saying.
At the island that is also under construction.
So they are telling you that if you want to come to Nigeria.
So interesting. But there, DJT, do not throw out the baby with the bath water.
I think the daddy is doing a lot at this point. Sadly, there was...
is it another suggestion by Elon Dodge?
Don't do that. Do not.
Maybe
do that.
Elon Dodge said, you know what? Shut down
We do not
embassies.
have a lot of time, please. I'm going to talk about yesterday's football games. The Europa games and... what's it called? The Europa games and the Conference League. I will start with the Conference League. And one reason why a lot of people, because let's be honest, a lot of people really used to follow the Conference League until Chelsea degenerated to the Conference League.
And it's a good opportunity for them to get silverware. They look on paper like the biggest team in that competition. On paper, this is a team that has won Champions League twice. Yeah.
So, in the Conference League, Fiorentina and Celje, Fiorentina won that. They're going straight into the semi-finals. Real Betis also qualified. Chelsea qualified. They did not win the game at home.
But
they did not win the game at home.
And you people want to kill Maresca. It's not fair. You people have to be fair.
Warsaw.
Yeah,
Warsaw.
The team has war in their name.
Before this Conference League, did you hear about their name?
That has seen war. It's called Warsaw.
Let's talk about it for a minute. Let's talk about it for a minute.
Warsaw.
Wait, hold on. Let's talk about this for a minute. Chelsea started this season.
Mm-hmm.
Guns blazing, it was conversation of
guns blazing is Arsenal though.
They were title.
They got the cannon
contenders.
Mm-hmm.
No, this thing. They were title contenders.
Yeah.
And it was everything was looking. They were going up and up.
Where are you going with
Palmer
this?
Was all along. And I remember conversations where they kept on asking Maresca that are they title contenders. I say he doesn't think that they are title contenders.
Yeah, he manifested what he wanted. Standard practice.
Manifestations. Looks like this manifestation is working because at this point,
it's a fact.
Warsaw is beating Chelsea at home.
But at least Warsaw fell by the way.
The way they're doing now, do you think they'll win Conference League?
Yes, it's possible. It's Chelsea. It's very possible.
This Chelsea?
You asked me, and I've given you my opinion.
Okay, I agree with you.
All right, moving on.
Anyway, one that definitely gave fireworks yesterday was the knockout to the second leg of the quarterfinals of
a big shout out
League.
to Dominic Solanke. Did you see his penalty?
No, I did not.
It was ice cold, man. Ice cold.
So those games did a lot. Athletic Club, Athletic Bilbao,
the Athletic
Rangers
versus Rangers. There was a robbery in that game, and Cyril Dessers was actually brought down. His jersey was torn, and he didn't get a penalty. Abba. In the box, in the 18-yard box.
In the 18-yard box. Another very interesting one, like he had said earlier, was Tottenham. Tottenham has also moved on. Now we're looking at a lot of very interesting matchups in the semi-finals. Now,
Before you talk your matchups, it will be remiss of us if we do not talk about Man United versus
I was getting
Olympic
to that
Lyonnais.
point. I was getting to that point where we saw there's a lot of very hard fought battles in this quarterfinals with Manchester United and Lyon. It literally came down to the wire.
9 goals.
It came down to the wire. We saw Lazio and Bordeaux glimpsed. Basically, I think it was penalties.
Yeah.
So one was penalties. One other game had 9 goals. Tottenham, it was 1-0, really, literally. It was, I think, Athletic Bilbao that literally still had a bit of
Ojoro.
If you say so.
I say so.
Anyway, so with these matchups now, is it looking like what we have in the Champions League that you can't say for a fact who's going to have the upper hand?
No, you can't. And now the new format that became a league of sorts that UEFA introduced has shown you that the consistent teams are the ones that are scaling through. In the Champions League, in these teams, the teams that are predominantly in the top 6 are the ones that are left now. The bulk of them are left. Of the 4, 3 of them were in the top 6.
Mm-hmm.
In the
top
Europa,
4 actually, not
in the Europa League, it's the same thing. Same scenario, same top teams, So it says a lot about a team, the quality of your team and the consistency and the beauty of having a league system, So massive shout out to UEFA for coming up with this league style. It was a little bit confusing for us because we're used to the other group stage knockout, this and that. But this is looking very interesting.
It's looking very interesting. So we definitely would follow this. And in 2 weeks, we're going to be seeing interesting matchups with.
I'm just saying, if I am Arteta and Ange Postecoglou and Ruben Amorim, I'm just playing the junior boys for the rest of the season. They are not winning Premiership. There's nothing United will do that will take them into the top 9 or top 10.
That's not fair.
Even if they win all their games.
But take, for example, Arsenal needs to win games because that from 3rd to 8th, everybody is fighting a lot.
From 3rd to 8th.
Yeah.
And you think that Arsenal will fall out of top 3?
Okay, sure.
This same Arsenal.
Okay, sure.
Now, what for you?
I was just trying to be.
Arsenal must prioritize the Champions League at whatever cost.
At whatever cost. Okay. Now let's do a bit of music. There was quite a lot of music. Davido's album finally popped up today. The 5 album is finally out.
Yeah, his 5th studio album. He has a whole lot of collaborations. Becky G, Omale, Victoni. I've listened to all his collaborations. I've not listened to the ones that he's done all by himself. I have a few favorites already. Musa Keys is on another song again. Remember, he was on the other song that was a big hit.
Big hit, yeah.
On the other album and all of that. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the songs. And, that. And then again, there's the one with Chris Brown, Titanium. It's got some nice songs. I already have a few favorites on that.
Okay, so that we're going to be talking about. Also, there is Ayomaf and Shode that released Per. Rexy.
I have a problem with the Per song.
Oh, okay.
There's a young lady that came up with that Per. you know, and her voice was used again. I hope they're going to pay her.
Paying her
Because even Portable now has a song called Per too. Everybody's doing Per. We're all waiting for people to come up with creative things. And we make money off it? Are you going to pay them?
Yeah.
Think about it.
It's very, very interesting. I like what you said.
There's Odumodu and Iwobi.
Yes,
with
there's
Rams.
Oduma, yes, that.
Sorry, it's not Iwobi. It's 17.
I don't know.
The artist name is 17. It's 17 featuring 17 Odumodu and Rams.
I'm not understanding.
The artist that dropped the song is 17.
So
it's not
Alex
called
Iwobi. Okay,
it's
wait.
not Iwobi.
So there's Alex Iwobi, the footballer, and then there's 17.
Look at your list. You'll see there's 17.
Because I think I listened to a bit of it, but it was what I saw was Alex. Okay.
It's 17. The guy's stage name is 17.
Okay. But I like what he's doing though. It's
some people said that he has shown you people that when he's done playing football, this is where he's going. I mean, it's not going to be studio analyst like some people. And he doesn't want to be a coach.
He doesn't want to be.
He's going to talk about his Balenciaga and Bottega and everything.
Anyway, Seun Kuti and Vector have the matter.
Yeah, something heavily influenced by Fela Kuti. I saw them perform together at the Shrine December last year. You were there too. And it's actually a nice song.
Yeah. So,
but the matter get meaning.
Anyway, so there are quite actually a number of songs that you should get to look out for, and they're also going to be played right here at the bar from 5 o'clock today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Also, the chaos is happening in Lagos as Portable and Speed Darlington trade wars during weighing. Their fight is finally gonna happen at the Balmoral Center.
Yeah, it's today at the Balmoral, Victoria Island. Because if you're into that, there are other matches also, but this one is the loudest one because there's two
loud people.
yeah.
And anyway, finally, before we go, still talking about music, Fuji musician Taye Currency lamented in a performance where he said that he too lost 10 million naira in CBEX. Now, there's something that I've noticed, and I'm not trying to put my Ibadan people down. Shout out to my Ibadan people. However, I seem to notice it seems to be a pattern. I don't know if a lot of people.
I'm going to sue you for what you noticed.
That
if you don't give me credit,
a lot of Ibadan things happen. A lot of these Ponzi schemes seem to gain ground.
The home of Ibadan is the home of Ponzi. You people don't need to like it, but it's the truth.
Oh my God. It seems to gain a lot of ground in Ibadan.
There was another guy that was busted last year now. Nobody's talking about it, you know. And they also have, but you know, I hope that the EFCC will be able to track these guys and bring them to book. But I just want to ask Mr. Taye Currency, how come when I know they tell us when I make money?
Why are you making the money? Apparently, I was talking to a colleague.
They only tell us when they lose money.
I was talking to a friend and she was like, that she had colleagues that made a lot of money, and then
people bought cars.
And people were building houses, and I'm like, oh, I only heard about this.
So they've been doing this thing for years. We even thought it was
apparently
months.
Since 2023. Oh my God, please, let's be going. Don't do that.
You see, me, I don't have luck with all these things. They don't even tell me.
Thank God I don't even hear.
The one that told us we lost money. I don't want. You know, the sad part is that it was business. They know it's oil and gas and blah blah blah.
Don't do that, please. Let's be.
I can't say per.
We'll see you on Monday. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you for the call.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Share this video.
Share the video. We'll be back on Monday at 3 p.m. West African time.
A big shout out to Sola from Boston.
Yeah.
Mr. Adekunle and Mr. Brain. God bless you guys. God guide you. God keep you. We appreciate you guys a lot.
Thank you.